Okay, so let's explore the IAM console. For this, I just type IAM and I go straight into the IAM console. So this is where we're going to be managing our account. And as you can see from the top right corner, it says global. That means that this does not require a region selection and IAM is a global service. So no matter where you are, you will have the same users across all your regions. That makes sense. Next, what we're going to do is to go ahead and create our first users. So you can disregard any of these messages right now. Don't worry about them. And we go under users. And on user, we're going to add a user. So why do we need users? Well, that's because we're using the root account. If I go on the top right, as you can see, it just gives me my account ID. So that means I'm using the root account and it has too much permissions. And so what I want to do is instead to create admin users and regular users and use them within AWS. So let's go and create our first user. It's going to be named Stefan. And I want to provide myself access to the management console. As you can see right now, there's an option that says, hey, do you want to use a user in Identity Center? That's the recommended way. Or do you want to create an IAM user? I'm going to go against the recommendations of AWS because right now, from an exam perspective, you need to know about IAM users and the Identity Center is a bit more complicated to set up. But don't worry, this does not affect your course and you will learn everything you need to know for the exam. So please bear with me and follow along by creating an IAM user. So you scroll down and then you have to have a console password. Now, if this was for someone else, I would use an auto-generated password, but because this is for me, I can just enter a password that I know of, and you need to make sure that you are compliant with the rules of the password right here. Then I can disable this box because I don't need to create a new password to sign in, but I would do this if it was another user I'm creating an account for. Then you click on Next. Okay, so next we need to add a user to a group or attach permissions to it directly. But we're going to create a groups because it's much easier. So let's create a group and this group name is going to be admin. And the admin group is going to have one policy attached called administrator access. So you take this one, you scroll all the way down and you click on create user group. So now the user can be added to the group admin. And because we will be in this admin group, we will inherit the policies of that group, which is administrator access. Click on next. Here we can review and create the user. As you can see, you have optional tags. Tags are everywhere in AWS. They can help to include some extra information about your data, but they don't impact how your account is functioning. For example, I could enter a tag and say that the department of Stefan is engineering. This is the kind of usage for tags, but again, it's just information you can add for users, for groups, and pretty much any resources within AWS. So we'll just show you how to do it once, but I won't do it everywhere. Okay, so let's create this user. Now the user is successfully created. And what I can do is that I can email the signing instruction. I can download a CSV to have the username and the password, or I can click here and return to the user list. And now let's explore what we have created. So under user groups, I will find the group admin. And if I click on it, I can see that there's one user in this group, which is the Stefan user. And if I look at the group permissions, as we can see, there's a policy name attached to the group, which is the administrator access, which provides full admin access to any users within the group. And so if we go and click on the user Stefan, so this is a user you can also get back from this menu on the left-hand side and just click on user Stefan. Okay. So if you click on the user Stefan back to it, okay, great. We have these permissions and the permissions associated with my user is administrator access. And this is a managed policy that we inherited from the group admin, okay? So we have our users and we have our groups. And now we're going to see how to log in with that user, Stefan. So to do so, let's go back into the dashboard. And on the right-hand side of the dashboard, we have some summary about our AWS account. So the account ID is right here, which you can also get by opening this panel. So this is the same account ID here and here. And the account alias is what you can set to log in to your account faster because remembering numbers sometimes is difficult. So we can create an account alias and just have to specify an alias that you like. For example, Stefan AWS V2 and click on Save Changes. Now, this is a unique alias for my account. You're not going to be able to use this alias for your account, but you can create your own. And now we have a sign-in URL on the right-hand side that is customized for my alias. So if I click on copy this URL, I need to open it in a new tab, but it must be an incognito tab or a different web browser. So here I've opened a private window in Firefox, which is going to be a different session. And so therefore, I can copy the signing URL and paste it here and press enter. Now we are taken again to the login page of AWS. And as we can see, we have 3 fields around. We have the account ID, the IAM username, and the password. So what's happening here is that we, using this URL, are taken to a sign-in page as an IAM user. And how do we know this? How can we get back to this page if we wanted to? Well, when we went into the signing, we had 2 options, either root user, which will log you in as a root user, or IAM user, in which case you just need to enter the account ID or the account alias, and then click on next, which will take you into the page we had from before, which was this page right here. So now in this page, what I need to do is to enter my IAM username and the password that I just created. And then click on sign in. And we are now logged in as an IAM user in the console. So how do we know this? Well, if you're logged in as a root user, as you can see when you click on the account, it says my account and the account number. This is a root user. But if we go on the right-hand side, we can see that there is Stefan at, and then the account alias. And so what we can see is that Stefan is the IAM user Stefan, and then we're my account and the account number. So we know on the right-hand side that we're logged in as an IAM user. Now this IAM user can do pretty much anything that the other user was able to do, the root user, because they're both admins, okay? But from a course perspective, it's better if you use an IAM user than using the root account. Now, you will see in some videos I have the root user, in some videos I have the IAM user. It doesn't really matter from a course perspective, okay? So I will use them as I please. But if I need to use the root user specifically, I will let you know. Or if I need to use an IAM user specifically, I will let you know as well, okay? But just so you know, to keep on going with the section, please have the root account as well as your IAM user ready and available. So that's it for this lecture. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next lecture.